Confirm to me. All of you read my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. I am audible, guys. Please confirm to me. All of you read my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. I am audible. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you read my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. I am audible. Please confirm to me, guys. All of you read my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. I am audible. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you read my voice and screen. All right. Good morning, guys. And so those who are attending daily 8:40, 8:45 class there. It is a small request, and tomorrow onwards come at 9 o'clock. Don't come at 8:30, then come at 9 o'clock. By sharp 9 o'clock, I'll come here. I'll take the class for you. Okay. Right, sir. It's getting delay every day, but today also with the same situation. All right. Come at 9 o'clock tomorrow onwards, then I will complete it. Max 1 week of time. If I complete it within 1 week, that everything is going to be completed at 8:30. Okay. All right, sir. Now, so coming to the content here, what we are discussing actually. So socket programming topic here we are understanding. In socket programming, what concepts here we are understanding up to now, what we understood there, if we observe this. Just basic introduction parts I have given for the distributed applications. And that basic introduction part, by using Java, we are able to prepare the following two types of applications. What are the two types of applications here we are able to create? First one is standalone applications, and the second one is distributed applications. What is standalone application? If you understand it, if we design and execute any application without using client server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called a standalone application. Similarly, what is distributed application? If you observe this, if we design and execute any application on the basis of the client server architecture or by distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called a distributed application. How many types of distributed applications are available now? Tell me. Two types of distributed applications. What are the two types of distributed applications here? Web-based distributed applications and remote-based distributed applications. What is this web-based distributed application? That is a client-server application where the client is fixed, that is a browser, where the complete application logic is distributed at the server-side server mission only, at server-side application only. No multiple missions, only server mission. There the total application logic is available. When client browser submits request to the server-side application will be executed. Some response will be generated from the server-side application to the respective client. Example is what there. All websites are web-based distributed applications only. All websites, like we can identify that gmail.com maybe, facebook.com maybe, anything through browser. If you access any application, if you access through browser, then that is what their web-based distributed application. To prepare web-based distributed applications, we have to use some technologies like what? Servlets, JSPs, JSTL, expression language, and so on. Next one is what there? Remote-based distributed applications. It's a client-server application where the client is not fixed. It may be a Java program with a main method, or a servlet, or a JSP base, or a struts application, or a JSF application, where the complete application logic is distributed at both the local machine and as well as what their remote machine. Understand it clearly. To prepare remote-based distributed applications, we will use the technologies like what there? Socket programming, RMI, Corba, EJBs, web services, and so on. Right. To prepare an enterprise application, we must have both web layer and a distributed application layer, both web and as well as what there? distributed environment. Both must be required in an enterprise application. That's why here are given one simple equation like what there. Enterprise application is equal to web application plus what there, distributed application. Web application plus a distributed application. This is called as what there, an enterprise application. Understand it clearly. There are given some diagrammatic representation. Understand it, no? So then given the proper explanation for it about this particular content. Try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. Now we are going to use what there, socket programming. What exactly the socket programming here we are going to understand. And before that, one more point here I'm telling to you. Out of all these remote technologies or remote based distributed technologies, socket programming and RMI that are covered in core Java. But the remaining things required application server, some J2EE libraries are required. I get my point or not? Socket programming and remote method invocation, both are available or both are covered inside the J2SE part. Both are existed in what there, J2SE. But remaining Corba maybe and EJBs maybe, web services maybe, then we are going to use what there, some server kind of environment, some J2EE libraries are required. J2EE libraries are required. Then only we are able to prepare them. That's why because of that reason, in core Java, I'm going to cover these two concepts clearly. In core Java, I'm going to cover what there, these two concepts. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Then it's okay, fine. Now let us move on to the socket programming. What is this socket programming actually? Observe carefully. Socket programming is an API. Instead of saying that API, socket programming, or else maybe directly I'm telling there, by using socket programming, we will prepare distributed applications on the basis of the sockets at both local machine and at a remote machine. The terminology we already aware. Local machine or client machine, and at a remote machine or server machine. Just on the basis of what their sockets, on the basis of the sockets at both local machine or client machine and at a remote machine or server machine. Local machine is also be called as what their client machine. Remote machine is also be called as what their server machine. Understand at present here we need to understand this point clearly. This is clearly like what their socket programming approach. Creating sockets, establish the communication between local and remote machines, and exchange the messages from one machine to another machine. This is the overall approach here what we are following clearly. I'll show that point here. But what is a socket first of all? What is the meaning of the socket? Socket is what? Almost all this definition is somewhat similar to the stream definition. In IOSIMS, we have seen that stream, similar to the stream definition, but it is somewhat different. Not exactly same as a stream, it is different. Understand it now. Socket is a channel or medium. Stream is also a channel or medium. Now this is socket is a channel or a medium it can be used to transfer the data. It can be used to transfer the data from one machine to the another machine over the network. What is a stream here we understood? Stream is a channel or medium. It is able to allow the data in continuous flow from input devices to Java program, from Java program to output devices. It's from input devices to Java program and Java program to output devices. That's it. but that entire thing is going on in a single machine. But here the socket is what there? Socket is a channel or medium. It is able to transfer the data from one machine to another machine over the network. Understand my point here? That means two machines are interconnected. Two machines are in a network. From one machine to another machine, I want to transfer the data. Not within a single machine, not from input devices to Java program and Java program to output devices. Not like this. It should be in two different machines. Both are available at two different locations in the network. From one machine to another machine, I want to transfer the data. For the sake of such a transformation, we need to go with what there? A socket. That's the meaning of this socket. Understand it? I'll show in a diagrammatic manner, but try to understand it clearly. All right, sir. Next one is. Now, there are two types of sockets. What are the two types of sockets here? We can identify these: client side socket and a server side socket. At the client side, we are going to maintain a socket. At server side also, we are going to maintain another socket. Then both the sockets are going to be connected. By connecting both the sockets, automatically the connection will be established between local machine and remote machine. Understand it clearly? All right, sir. Next one is what there? In socket programming, right, sir? In a socket programming, we will create sockets at both client side and at the server side. We will create sockets at both the client side and server side. Okay, by providing communication between, by providing connection between both the sockets. By providing connection between both the sockets, we are able to transfer the messages. We are able to transfer the data from one machine to the another machine. We are able to transfer the messages from one machine to another machine just by providing what? Just by providing connection between both the sockets. If we establish the connection between both the sockets, automatically connection or communication will start from one machine to another machine. Connection will be established between one machine to another machine. Right. Next one is what? How we are going to establish the communication between two sockets? How we are going to establish the connection between two sockets? If you observe this clearly, to establish connection between the sockets, we have to use, to establish the connection between sockets, we have to use system IP address and port number. System IP address and port number. Server machine IP address. Why? Because the server socket is available at server machine only. So its IP address is required and port number is required. On the basis of that, server machine IP address and port number only, that connection is going to be established. Then only communication is going to be established between two sockets. But here the basic question I'm having there. I think how many of you are aware about this question, but I want to check it, but I have a question. What about my question here? In this case, no, understand the question here. The question is what? What is the difference between IP address and port number? What is the difference between IP address and port number? This here we have to understand clearly. What exactly the difference between IP address and a port number? Right, sir. Now I'm going to give some clarity. Now try to understand it clearly. IP address is an unique identity for each and every mission, which are existed in the network. IP address is an unique identity for each and every mission which exists in the network. Okay, where the system IP addresses or maybe IP address IP address, where the IP address is provided by the network administrator. IP address is provided by the network administrator at the time of the network configurations. At the time of network configurations. Understand it clearly? IP address is a unique identity for each and every machine which exists in the network, where the IP address is provided by the network administrator or network manager at the time of the network configurations in our system. Definitely, when we take a system, network configurations are going to be provided, where IP address is going to be created. Understand it now? It is an unique identity for each and every machine. Say for example, now my machine is connected in the network. My machine is having IP address. Got my point? My machine is having what there? One unique identity in the network. All right. On the basis of this unique identity only, we can communicate with the machines, and then we can transfer the messages through this particular IP address. Understand it clearly? But what is port number? What is the meaning of this port number? Simple point. Listen, all of you listen carefully. If we take a Hyderabad, in a Hyderabad, so many institutes are available. Each and every institute is having number of classrooms. Each and every institute must have classrooms, number of classrooms. Understand it clearly? Institute, if we take, is an address where at that particular address number of classrooms are available. So identity for the institute is an IP address. Inside this institute, number of classrooms are available. Each and every classroom is having the classroom number. Each and every classroom is having what their classroom number. Now what is our classroom number? 505. Get my point or not? Our classroom number is what there? 505. At the fourth floor we have some other classrooms. Almost all 3 classrooms are available at fourth floor. 401, 402, 403. Then after that, at second floor we have almost a few classrooms there. 202. Answer my point. 203, 204, 205, 206, like this. But Durgasoft is a single point of address, where how many classrooms are available? So many classrooms are available. Similarly, in the network, every computer is having its own identity. That is nothing but IP address. But inside the single computer, number of processes are going to be executed. Inside the single computer, number of processes are executing. Say for example, at present, what processes are available here? If you understand it clearly, at present, number of processes are available. So go to webinar is running at present in my system. That is one process. Notepad is running in my system. That is another process. Understand it clearly. Paint is running in my system. This is another process. Paint is running in my system. This is what there, another process. Browser is available at present in my system. That is another process. Command prompt is running in my system. That is another process. Edit plus is running in my system. That is another process. In a single computer, how many number of processes are existed here? In a single computer, how many number of processes are existed here? Number of processes are existed in a single computer. For each and every process, there is an unique identity. That a process unique identity is called as what? A port number. Process unique identity is called as what there? A port number. Everybody understand my point here? Durgasoft is an IP address. 505 is what there? Port number. 401 is what there? A port number. 202 is what there? A port number. Similarly, IP address is a unique identity for each and every machine which exists in the network, where the IP address is provided by the network administrator at the time of the network configuration. Similarly, port number is an unique identity. Port number is an unique identity for each and every process. For each and every process being executed in a single computer, in a single machine, port number is an unique identity for each and every process being executed in a single machine, and it must be provided and managed by the local operating system. Local operating system process maintenance is going on with the operating system. Everybody understand it clearly? Who is going to maintain the processes? Processes might be created by the processor, that's okay, but that could be managed by whom? Managed by the operating system. As per the operating system call only process will be created. When a process is created, identity must be provided by whom? Their operating system. Operating system will manage that identities. Why? Because terminating that process, activating that process, running that process, all the things could be taken care by what? There our operating system. Understand it clearly? So definitely which would be managed by the operating system internally. So port number is a unique identity for each and every process being executed in a single machine, and it must be provided and managed by the local operating system. This is exactly the point here we have to understand. Okay, say one question I'm asking to you, now try to understand it clearly. For example, in my computer I installed Tomcat server. In advance, of course, I'm going to talk about it later on. No need to worry for it, but answer for my question. In my system, it is already connected in the network. In my system, I installed Tomcat server. When Tomcat server is installed, when I start Tomcat server, definitely it must have an IP address and it must have a port number. IP address is what there? My system IP address, my system unique identity, IP address. But what is that port number? Starting Tomcat in the sense one process is running internally. Tomcat server is running in the sense one process is running internally. Further process, some internally what happened there? Internally an unique identity is assigned. That unique identity is nothing but what? Their port number. So for every task, port numbers are available and IP address is available. Of course, IP address is a system identity. It's a common for every process. But for each and every process, separate unique identity is provided. That unique identity is called as what? There is a port number. Understand it now? Right, sir, leave this punch card. This is completed. Totally this part is completed here. No, just we can understand it clearly. Leave this punch card. After this, after completion of this punch card, right, sir. Next one is what? There socket programming. Right. If you want to prepare distributed applications by using socket programming, we have to use the following architecture. We have to use the following architecture. What architecture here we have to use? If you want to prepare distributed applications by using socket programming, we have to use the following architecture, or maybe some steps to prepare distributed application by using socket programming. Both are same here. First of all, I am going to provide one diagrammatic representation. Try to understand the diagram first. After that, we will go for the steps. The steps are going to be included inside this diagram only. Steps are going to be included inside what there? This diagram only. So we have to understand the points clearly. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. Now here itself, I want to put the heading like what there? Steps to prepare client application. Steps to prepare server application. Parallel, I'm going to prepare the steps also. Now try to understand it now. Here in this location, I will give the diagram here, but here nearly 6 or 7 steps, and here also 6 or 7 steps here we are going to get. All the steps here I'm going to prepare parallelly. By that we are able to get complete clarity. Right, sir. Now see this one. Put more concentration, all of you know. Don't deviate. In the next 25 minutes to half an hour of time, the topic is very, very important. Put more concentration. Directly we will start what their programming part after completion of this. Right. Now this is like what I'm telling to you, a client mission. This is server mission. client mission, and next one is what there, server mission, client and server. Okay. Now I want to prepare a program. Here also I want to prepare a program. Client application, server application. Okay. Client application, and then what next one here? No, server application. First of all, if we want to prepare this program there, step number one, we need to create a server side socket first. The server side socket is acting as what there? Server. We need to install server software or not in general. First we have to make ready the server or not. After that only we are going to prepare what their clients. First of all, we have to make ready the server. Means that server socket we have to create at server mission. So in the steps to prepare server application, then what we have to do there? Step number one, create server side socket at a server mission. I'm going to give that in a section. Try to understand it clearly. Server socket SS is equal to new server socket of the server socket must run on the base of a particular port number. We have to provide that port number as we are creating server socket. If system is creating server socket now, system will provide port number. But who is creating this server socket now? Developer is creating that. We have to define the port number for it. On that particular port number only the server socket is running. That port number is important. Why? Because clients will connect with this server socket with this particular port number only. Clients will connect with the server socket on the basis of what there? This port number only. So now here I want to give some port number. In general, some 4-digit number we are going to provide, but of course any number, but it should not be a negative number. Normal positive numbers we can give any number, no problem. But in general, we are going to provide that port numbers with 4 digits minimum. This is a convention, but 3 digit also be acceptable, no problem. But 4-digit port number here we are going to provide. I used to provide every time is like what there 4 4s that I provided here. Please remember, all of you know, once we executed this one, server socket will be created at server mission on the basis of what port number there? 4 4s. If any client wants to connect with this particular server, they have to use the same port number at their client mission. With this particular port number only, they are going to establish the connection with the server socket. Got it or not? Right, sir. Now understand it now. Now this is server socket what I am trying to prepare. Right, sir. Now here I want to say this is what the server socket, where the port number is what there 4 4s, and it's a reference name is what there SS. SS is what the reference variable name. Okay, that means almost all we installed server software at server mission. Completed. Okay, fine. Now what next one here? After this, after completion of this client wants to establish connection with this particular server mission. So server socket is available. Immediately, client has to send a request to the server socket like, I want to establish connection with your server mission. Please allow me. For example, from my village to your village, I want to put a road. I want to create a road. Then I need to take permission from your village or not. If I accept it, then only I can establish the connection. Similarly, client must request to the server socket, about to establish the connection with the server machine. When it has given request to the server socket, where server socket must accept the request. Server socket must accept that request and provide the required environment to establish the connection. Got it or not? First, the client has to request to the server socket about the connection establishment. All right. Now the step number 1 inside this client application is what there. All right. Create client side socket. Create a client side socket and send a request to the server socket about to establish connection between client and the server missions. Client and the server mission. All right, sir. This is actually the point now. All right, now here we can understand how it is possible there. Socket S is equal to new socket. But the socket has to submit a request to the server socket or not. But where is that server socket actually? The server socket is available on which port number? 444. But in which machine the server socket is available? In which computer the server socket is available? Server computer. Am I right or not? But here I don't have too many machines. No. This is one machine I'm having there. Understand it clearly. Within the same machine, I'm providing server socket and I'm providing client side socket. Both I'm providing in a single computer or not? Come on, in a single computer, I'm maintaining both the server socket and client side socket or not? So now I'm at which machine here? No, client machine. Right? The server socket is available at the same client machine or not? So in the same local machine, the server socket is available or not? That's why first we have to provide server socket mission IP address. After that, server socket port number we have to provide. First of all, server socket port number we know already that we created. What is that, sir? What is that server socket port number? 444. Okay, but where, in which machine that server socket is available? In the same current machine it is available or not? Okay, for example, if it is not available at the current machine, if it is available at some other machine there, for example, if it is available at some other machine, for example, give that some other machine IP address here. Give that some other machine what there? IP address. But time being we can understand it. Server socket also I'm going to create in the same computer. So that's why we have to provide the same computer IP address. Same computer IP address we can provide like what? 127.0.0.1. That is a IP address for the local machine. Got it or not? Otherwise, really if you know the IP address of your system that we can provide. But to avoid this total confusion, in a current machine, my server socket is available. To specify that it is available in the same local machine, in place of using any IP address, directly we can give a host name. For the local machine, the host name is always is what there. We can understand local host. Yes, sir, got it or not? This is what their local host. Local host in the sense what there? In the same local machine, my server socket is available. In the same client machine, my server socket is available. That's the meaning of it now. Now observe carefully what is going to be happen here now. Socket S is equal to new socket of localhost comma 444. By creating this, what it will do there? By creating the above socket at a client machine, we will send a request to the server socket on the basis of the provided server socket IP address and the server socket port number. Server socket port number. By creating the above socket at the client machine, we will send a request to the server socket on the basis of the provided server socket IP address. Inside the bracket, I'm telling to you that is like what the local host and the server socket port number. What is that server socket port number? You know, 444. About to establish connection with the server mission from the present client mission. Okay, now tell me, request is submitted to the server socket. Now, what server socket has to do? Second step here we have to do now. Now observe carefully. So first of all, let me complete this part here. So by providing this, now here what happened there? Client side socket is created. This is what I am telling to you, client side socket that is created. When client side socket is created here, automatically a request will be submitted to what? Automatically request will be submitted to what? Server socket. Automatically a request will be submitted to what? Their server socket. Now server socket has to accept that request. Server socket has to accept that request. To accept that request, what server socket has to do now? Accept the request coming from the client and provide a socket at the server mission, to get the connection from client. Then how it is possible there? Socket s is equal to ss dot accept. So when request is coming from client, this method will be executed. What is this method? No, ss dot accept method. By accepting that request from the client, it will create a socket at server mission with the client side socket. So your client side socket and a server side socket both are in connection mode by assigning a socket from the accept method. I'll show in the diagram. By that we can identify this clearly. When it is accepted here, immediately another socket will be created at what mission here? No, another socket will be created at what mission here? No, server mission. Another socket will be created at what mission here? No, server mission. Now it is created. This is the socket which is provided by the server socket to establish the connection between client side socket and server socket. Finally, here connection will be established. Here also the connection will be established. Okay. So this is overall information related to like what their connection, that the channel is created here, that both the sockets are created clearly. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, fine. Side bit is right, sir. Now come for our content. Okay, fine. So now the point is what there, this is like what there, socket. This is at a client side. Now this also be a socket at what side? No, server. It is already created by whom? Server socket. This is created by whom here? Client side. Right. Finally, channel is created between client mission and server mission or not? This is a channel. This area is what their channel. Now we can send the data. We can receive the data from both the missions. Now finally what we completed here, a path is created between two missions. What is created here now? Path is created between two missions. Clear? Observe carefully, all of you know. Next one is watch after this. So server side socket is ready, client side socket is ready, both are having connection. Now path is established between both the machines. The remaining part is what? First a client has to send a message to the server socket. Now server machine has to send some reply message to the respective client. By this communication here we are going to establish. All right. Now client has to take the next point. Now at the client side. Now here what we are going to do there. This is client mission. All right. Now step number 2. In step number 2, declare the data, or before this what I am telling there, from client mission I want to send data to the client side socket. Client side socket will send the data to the server side socket. Server side socket will send data to the server program. Understand the steps now? First one is what there, we have to send data from client mission to client program to client side socket. Client side socket will send data to what there, server side socket. Server side socket will send data to what there, server mission. Now first of all we have to send data from client mission to the client side socket or not. Now your client side socket is acting as an output device. From Java program to output device we have to send the data. From Java program to output device we have to send the data. So we require a stream or not? To send data from Java program to output device, there we require a stream or not? Exactly, that stream is nothing but what their output to stream. What stream is required now? Output to stream. Now create output to stream from socket. Create output to stream from socket. For this what I am telling to you, output to stream OS is equal to s dot get output to stream. Automatically output to stream will be created. Means that here we are going to get like what there, an output stream from this Java program. Here this is like what I am telling to you, output to stream. Observe carefully. This is like what I am telling to you, output to stream. Next one is I can send data to the output stream directly, but it may reduce the performance of the output operation. At a time, a line of data I'm unable to send. Character by character only I have to send to the output to stream. If you want to send data to the output stream, that approach would be only character by character, not a line of data at a time to the output stream. So to overcome this problem, to send a line of data at a time to the output stream, there we have to use print stream. What we have to use there? Print stream. System.out.println we are using now, where system.out is there now. Out is representing what their print stream. Now we need to create the print stream to simplify, to improve the performance of the output operation. All right, further purpose, what I am going to create there, here I am going to take like what, print stream, here I am going to create. Observe carefully, here we are going to use like what, the print stream. Right, sir. Now understand it. Now this is what I am telling you. This is exactly like what their print stream. Fine. When we created this print stream, then what next one here after this? We have to declare the data. We have to send the data to what their print stream. So now the point is what there? We created this print stream. We need to create print stream. Point number 3. Create print stream with the output stream to improve performance of the output operation, to improve the performance of the output operation. So what we are going to do, print stream PS is equal to new print stream of, then what next one here we have to do there, OS is what their output to stream, that is already connected with what their socket. Right, now observe carefully, fourth one, point number 4. Now understand this diagram here. Output stream is ready, print stream is also be ready. What next one here? We have to declare the data. Say for example, I want to provide what data? Hello data. Hello is the data here I want to declare. That I want to send it to what there? This is a print stream. I need to send this data to what there? Print stream. Alright, declare the data and send the data to what there? Print stream. Alright, further purpose here we are going to use this particular one. Now the data should be like what there, hello. We are able to get the data is what there, hello. When data hello is available here, automatically the data is coming to what there, output stream hello. Similarly, the data is coming to like what there, client side socket. The data is coming to client side socket. Now the client side socket will convert the data to what there, network representation. It is going to be happen. Client side socket will send the data to what there, server side socket. Please observe carefully. Now the data is available at which machine? Now the data is available at which side now? Server side socket. Okay, just wait a minute of time. Now at client side, declare the data and send the data to what there, print stream here. Right. Fourth step is what? Declare the data and send the data to the print stream. Right, further purpose, what instruction here we have to use there? String data is equal to hello. For example, hello. Then after this, print stream ps dot println of data. System dot out println we are using or not? Println method will keep the data to the print stream. Print stream will send the data to like what there, to the remaining parts kernel. In the same way, ps dot println, ps is what there, print stream. Print stream is connected with what there, output stream. If we send the data to the print stream, the same data will come to what there, output stream. Output stream will send data to the client side socket. Client side socket will send data to the server side socket. Right, now the point here I'm telling to you, already it was specified in the diagram here. Now observe carefully in this case. Now if we execute the above lines, if we execute the above code, println method will send data to the print stream where print stream will send data to the output stream where the output stream will send data to the client side socket where the client side socket will send data to the server side socket. That's it. The data is available at what machine here? Server machine, server side socket. It's okay. Now the work is going on. Now client responsibility is completed, submitting data to the server. Now the remaining part is available where? Now that the remaining work is going on at which machine here? No, server machine. At server machine, we need to read the data to the Java program or not? We have to read the data to the Java program or not? To read data from Java program, first of all, we require a stream or not? Say, think about it now. Now server side socket is acting as input to device, where in that input device, the input data is available. How to read the data to the Java program? To read data to the Java program, first of all, we require some input stream or not? Getting data from input devices to the Java program, we require some input stream or not? Alright, so that's why here what we have to do there, at the steps to prepare server application, accept is okay. Next one is what there, point number 3, create input stream from the socket. Create input stream from the socket. So here what we have to do there, input stream is is equal to socket dot get input stream. Socket dot what method here? No, get input stream. Now here we are getting what there input stream object here we are getting. Right, sir. Now let me show that point here. Here we are getting like what there input stream object here we are getting. Now this is like what I'm telling to you input stream object. Right, sir. Now input stream object is created here. Just we can understand IS. When input stream is created, automatically the data is coming to like what their input stream object. Hello, like this, the data is available here. Now observe carefully. We can read the data directly from input to stream, but it allows to read only individual characters, not complete data at a time. It allows to read only what there, only individual characters, not complete data at a time. But if we want to read the total data at a time, there we have to use buffered reader. There we have to use what there buffered reader. Buffered reader will improve the performance actually. So by using buffered reader, we are able to read the data. Understand it clearly. So further purpose, then what we have to do there, we need to create buffered reader here. Buffered reader and internally input stream reader also. Buffered reader, then what next one here? Input stream reader also. Now I need to take that buffer reader. Moreover, we can understand clearly input to stream is a byte oriented stream. Of course, I am representing data in the form of like what there HELLO, like this in the character form, but it is internally bytes representation. But we want to get the data in the form of what there character representation. There we have to use what there directly buffer data and input stream data. So internally we are going to use what there these two concepts only. Now I'm using what there here directly buffered reader here I'm going to use. If I use this buffered reader, automatically this individual characters data will come to the buffered reader. There we can identify the data is like what there hello. Right, sir. We can identify the data, total data is available in the form of like what there hello. It is existed here. Now from this buffer reader, we can read the data directly to Java program. Now the data here we can read directly from this buffer reader to Java program. Directly here we can understand the data is like what there hello is the data directly here we are getting it. So finally the data is transferred from local machine to the remote machine or not? Come on guys, understand it. Finally the data is transferred from local machine to the remote machine or not? All right, so now let me complete even this point also. Input stream here we created here. Next one is what there create a buffered reader with the input stream reader with the input stream in order to improve performance of the input operation. That's it. Then here what we have to do there buffered reader br is equal to new buffered reader of new input stream reader of is. Buffered reader br is equal to new buffered reader of new input stream reader of what next one is is what there I have not used system.in. System.in is representing keyboard, that means command prompt here no, right, where keyboard data we are going to enter. But is is what there input stream is what there socket.get input stream. That means from socket whatever the input data which is coming, the data will come to the buffer data or not. Then after this, whenever the data is coming in the form of buffer data, the fifth step is what there read data from the buffered reader, read data from buffered reader and display the data and display that data. So further purpose, then what we have to do there, string data is equal to br.readline method, br.readline method. Then after that system.out.println of data is completed. Now this is what their one-time conversation is completed. From client to server, we submitted our data. From local machine to remote machine, we submitted our data. The next one is what there? We have to give reply or not. Just we provided some hello. Hello is the data here we provided. Now, for example, I want to provide some reply. What reply here I want to provide there? Say, for example, hi, message here I want to provide. Understand it now? Say, not same message here. Different message here I want to provide something else, whatever it may be now. All right. Now tell me, now the data is available at which machine now? Server machine. From server machine to the client machine here, we have to submit the data or not? To submit this data from server machine to the client machine, same process we have to apply in the reverse direction. From client to server, what exactly the process we have used to submit the data, same process we have to apply from server machine to the client machine. From server to client, if you want to submit the message, we have to follow the same mechanism. It's clear to all of you know? Right. Then what we have to do there? If you want to do this particular one, first of all, you only tell me now. Tell me now the data is available at server machine. So to send the data here, what is required here? We need to get some output stream or not? Come on, guys. Now here we need to get one output stream or not? This is exactly like what their output stream. Here we have to provide. Okay. Now here I'm going to create one output stream. But the point is what there? If I take this output stream directly, we are unable to send data to the output stream. Not right, not possible to write at a time the total data into this output stream. Am I right or not? So just we need to create an output stream here. All right, sixth step here, what I am telling there. All right, create output stream. Create output stream from socket. There we have to do now output stream OS is equal to s dot get output stream. Next one is performance will not be improved here now. All right, sir. Create printer stream with the output stream to improve the performance of the output operation. For this purpose, then what we have to do there? Print stream PS is equal to new print stream of OS output stream. Both we provided here. Now observe carefully. Directly, not possible to send data to the output stream. Here we are going to create like what there. I'm going to create one print stream. Now here I'm going to create the print stream like this. All right, sir. Now it's okay. Now this is like what I'm telling you, print stream. When data is coming, print stream. When we create this one, directly we can write the data to the print stream. Here the data is available like what their high data is available. Now whenever the data is available like this to this print stream, what next one here? The same data is going to be submitted to like what their output stream. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. Right, sir. So like this, now the data is available at what there? Print stream will send data to the output stream. Output stream will send data to the server side socket. Server side socket will send the data to what there? Client side socket. Now here what is going to be happen there? Now the next point is like what the eighth point. send data, declare the data, and send data to the print stream. For other purpose, we have to use one intersection. What is that intersection here we are using there? Observe carefully. Okay. Now that intersection would be like what there? PS dot, first of all, string data is equal to just a hi is the data here we provided. PS dot println of, then here we have to provide what there? Data. Now in this case, the point is what there? If we execute the code, above code, data will be sent to the print stream where the print stream will send data to the output stream, where the output stream will send data to the server side socket, where the server side socket will send data to the client side socket. That's it. Now the data is available at client side socket. Now server responsibilities are completed here. Now the total remaining work is available at which machine here now? Client side. Now at client side we have to read the data. Now tell me, to read the data what is required now? To read data from client side socket to the Java program, we require a stream or not? We need a stream. Input stream is required or not? Now here we have to create what stream here now? Input stream. Here we have to create. Now this is like what I am telling there, input to stream. Right, sir. When input stream is created, automatically the data will come to like what there? The data is coming to this input stream. But I am telling to you clearly, reading data reading this data from input stream may reduce the performance of the input operation. There we have to use what there? Buffered reader. To read data from input stream, we have to use what there? Buffered reader. There we have to use what there? Buffered reader. Right, sir. Now all of you understand it clearly. When buffer reader if we create there, automatically the same data now the data is available like this. Now in this content here, what we have to do there, declare the data and send to the print stream. Now here, what we require now client server side is completed here. There we have to go at what side now? Client side. Right, sir. Now at client side, the step number 5. What I am telling there, create input to stream from the socket. Create input stream from the socket. Input stream is is equal to s dot get input stream method here we have prepared. Then after this, what next one here? Sixth step here now. We need to create what there? Buffer reader here we have to create. Create buffered reader with the input stream in order to improve performance of the input operation. Right. For this purpose, then what we have to do there? We need to create what there? Buffer reader. Right, sir. Then here we have to provide like what there? For this buffered reader, BR is equal to new buffered reader of. Then what next one here? We have to use new input stream reader. There we have to use what there? IS. If I use system.in, that is a keyboard. But if I use like IS, no, IS is representing what their input stream. Input stream is from where? Socket. From the socket directly we are getting what their input stream now. Right, directly here we are getting the data. That means buffer data is created. Inside this buffer data, the data is available. Now get the seventh step is what there? Read data from the buffered reader. Read data from what there? Buffered reader. Buffered reader. Then read and display the data. Read and display. Read the data from the buffer reader and display the data. That's it. For the purpose, what we have to do there, string data is equal to br.readline method. Here we are getting it. The same data here we are going to display. System.out.println of data. Automatically the data is going to be displayed clearly. Right, sir. Now the total process here we completed. Now observe carefully. Now with the diagram here, what we are going to do there, that high data I want to read from what there? From the buffer data. That's it. Now this is the total scenario. Then the total work here, what we understood. Now in this process, what is going to be happen there now? Data will be submitted from local machine to the remote machine. Next one is the same data we submitted from some different data we submitted from remote machine to the local machine. All the steps are clear or not? Each and every step, each and every pinpoint also I listed in our diagram here. Now. Got it now clearly? Right, sir. Now I want to take this diagram here. Let me copy this one. Now I need to do then here what we have to do this steps to prepare client. If you want to do architecture here, I'm going to provide now here itself. I want to give the diagram here so that we are getting clarity. Right, that's it. This is a total architecture what we are getting now. The remaining part is what there. I have to prepare the program only. I need to prepare the application only. Right. All right, sir. Now, so I want to prepare this application and tomorrow I will show chatting application. The same concept I'm going to use for what they're charting, sending messages from one mission to another mission. Charting application will prepare there. In the chatting applications, one is like what there one-time communication. Second application I'll prepare with what there like infinite charting. Understand it clearly. So that we are going to do anything, right? Right. So now take a few minutes back and come back now. I'll start advanced Java class there. Thank you.
ఆపేయాలంటే ఎండ్ చివరి ఎగ్జిట్ ఉంది కదా అందరికీ వాళ్ళు కూడా అయిపోతాయి